Hey, and welcome to Tax Talk with the Tax Queen. My name is Heather Ryan. I am also known as the Tax Queen. Hey, today I'm here to talk about 7 apps that will help simplify your business finances. And we're just going to go through them and why I use them. Just first off, I use these apps with my clients. It helps make their life or my life or both of us a little bit easier and simple and more automated. So let's jump in, right? 7 apps. So QuickBooks Online. I think this one is really common. Most people have heard of QuickBooks, and I like the online version because it lets people share really easy, and it's backed up. The data is backed up. You never have to worry about that. It does receipt capturing, invoices, paying contractors. I mean, you name it, and it's constantly coming out with new features. So it's a really great app. It's reasonably priced, especially if you use an accountant to sign up, such as myself. Next up is FreshBooks. FreshBooks is a competition of QuickBooks, we'll say. It's very similar software. It's going to offer reporting. It's going to offer invoicing. The reason why I recommend FreshBooks is for anybody who is doing international or multi-currency invoicing. So QuickBooks is not great for that. QuickBooks is great for one currency, but if you need multiple, then FreshBooks is better at handling that. It still has reporting functions. You can still invite your accountant user or a bookkeeper to help keep up the data. But if you do multi-currency, FreshBooks is where it's at. If you don't like QuickBooks, FreshBooks could be a great alternative as well. Third one is MileIQ. And while there are mileage functions in FreshBooks, in QuickBooks, and maybe other accounting software, or you have the option to keep your own mileage log, that's fine. MileageIQ is an app on your phone, on the smartphone, and it will record all your drives, and you can literally put notes in there. You can have parking, you can have tolls in there. It's just really nice. It gives you little notes. It's totally accepted by the IRS. If you drive a lot of mileage for work, I really suggest using MileIQ. Especially if you're not into using the QuickBooks function or whatever else. It is a separate app, but I think it's really important for someone who drives a lot of mileage. If you ever hear my stuff, or if you've heard me talk before, I'm really into recording, documenting, organizing, and MileIQ is there for that. So if you're going to take mileage, make sure you're recording it. Next app is Gusto. And so if you pay contractors, if you run payroll, I use Gusto with all of my payroll clients, and it's really great because it's full service. That means that they're going to file all of your government reports, whether that's quarterly or monthly, annual. It'll file your W-2. It's going to file your 1099 for contractors. Just handles all of that behind the scenes. And honestly, I've had them mess up. Okay, no one's perfect, but they fixed the mistake and they paid the interest and penalties. So I really stress Gusto. Gusto is also great as your business is expanding. If you want to offer benefits, so health insurance, 401k, workers' comp insurance, I mean, all of it, it's just kind of all bundled into one thing. They actually call it an HR platform because of that. And it just integrates everything into payroll. It makes something really simple, and it helps keep your life a little simplified and a little easier. It will also integrate with QuickBooks and Xero and the big, accounting softwares. So that also helps your life. Again, ease, simplify, things are happening behind the scenes. You don't have to worry about it. The next one might be a surprise to some, but I include Google Drive and Dropbox on here. And I use that especially because we are nomadic and we don't want paper, we don't want extra clutter. So I love using Dropbox and Google Drive for those purposes. So it can store your receipts, it can organize them all, you can share data and documents with coworkers, with friends, with family, with your accountant, with whoever you want. It's really nice, and it's backed up on the cloud, so you don't have to worry if your computer gets lost or if your computer crashes. Everything will still be there. So I really like that for those functions. And I mean, I think most people, I think, use some kind of cloud storage at this point anyway. The other benefit is Google Drive integrates directly with QuickBooks. So if you're using QuickBooks and you want to pull the receipts and statements into QuickBooks, it can do that with Google Drive. The last couple of apps I recommend are for maybe a little bit bigger businesses and once you're established and stuff, but I honestly think that they might apply to even smaller businesses as you're getting started. So one of them is called Syft Analytics, and this helps you run financial reports. And so you can't move forward necessarily, right? Or rather, let's not look backwards and say, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, but let's look forwards. And so this will help you create those customized reports. It's going to help you with forecasting. It can change scenarios and see where things will be. So I really recommend having some kind of analytical software and to run reports and to keep that health of your company, right? So if you don't know the health of your company, how do you know that it's going to succeed? And then the other one is called Dext. And if you're an Amazon seller, if you use PayPal or some other kind of merchant services other than QuickBooks Online to receive payments and send invoices, Dext is actually going to import all this data for you. So it's going to import your sales, it's going to import fees, it's going to import refunds, and it connects directly with QuickBooks and other accounting softwares. And it's really great for those who are Amazon sellers, which I know there are plenty of you out there. And also those who use PayPal or other software to take payments. So it's a really great way to connect it, so you don't have to worry about the data. You're actually connecting real revenue. And I say this as real revenue because let's step back a second. A lot of people, they just record the deposits in their bank account, and that's not actual real revenue because that's going to be minus any fees. So I like to see that you're recording all the revenue and also recording those fees as an expenses. So the merchant services fees, you can call it credit card fees, whatever you want to call it, PayPal fees, it doesn't matter what it's called, but it's an expense to your business. So that way you can see the real revenue and the real expense. It's really important to know all of that data, and Dext will do that for you. So just a really quick review, 7 apps that are useful and to help simplify your financials in your business is QuickBooks, Freshbooks, especially if you have multi-currency or foreign currency, MileIQ for tracking your mileage, Gusto for paying yourself or your contractors or employees, and Google Drive and Dropbox, Syft Analytics, and last but not least, Dext. And that, again, is going to help Amazon sellers and people who use PayPal and stuff connect all of their financial data into QuickBooks or their other accounting software. So there you have it. The 7 apps to simplify your small business finances. Thanks for joining me today.